Looks like the neighbor's cat adopted me. I just started work. I was just starting to run the cables, and I hear a little meow behind me. And look who's here. Look who wants some belly rubs. That's such a sweet little kitty. I've actually had a couple of black cats before, and they're usually not as friendly as this one. This one is like super love kitty. Anyway, just an update on the solar. It's been kicking ass. I mean, I'm pulling about 150 watts right now. The only is 75 because my batteries are literally maxed out. I'm running, I think, let's see. Yeah, I'm currently at 14.4 volts, which is like higher than I've ever seen the batteries sitting at. So that's good. They're really working. That solar was a great investment. Basically, I had this baby fired up. This monitor takes like 40 watts. I had it, and I got this new keyboard. It's very highly recommended. This keyboard was only 20 bucks, but it's wireless. It's not Bluetooth. It is like a wireless radio transmitter type keyboard, LOGITECH, because I love the LOGITECH brand. Their stuff is always high quality. This is like a little wireless laptop keyboard, and the battery's supposed to last a year and a half. You put there's a little on and off switch, and when you want to use it, you just turn it on. It instantly starts working. The little touchpad is great. It lets you scroll. Use 2 fingers to scroll, left and right, and double tap for clicking. And it also has another mouse button over here for left click, so you can use your thumb on that, like while you're holding it. And it's actually pretty nice for being a cheap. I mean, 20 bucks for a wireless keyboard is really cheap, and it's very lightweight, very small. I think it takes AA's or AAA's or something, but they say you can pretty much get a year and a half out of it. Now, I'm not going to get that long. I'll be lucky if the batteries last 6 months as much as I'm going to use this thing. But yeah, I have this plugged into the mini computer right now, and it's been way better than trying to plug and unplug all the USB cables and use these big keyboards, because this is a backlit keyboard and it takes like 3 or 4 watts. And then this mouse has got all kinds of LEDs in it, and that takes like another 1 or 2 watts. This takes nothing. I mean, to power the little radio transmitter is like pretty much nothing. But hey, don't you be vomiting in here. And I hope you're not eating anything. There's really nothing over here. I mean, I saw her sniffing around, but the only thing I think she could have had was some of that fiberglass, but I don't think a cat would be that dumb. She just started hacking. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to clean up after you. You done hacking? Are you done hacking? Sounds like it. If I hear you hacking again, I'm going to chase you out. I like cleaning up after my own cat. So the solar has been kicking ass. I mean, I come out here at like, say, 1 o'clock. My batteries are maxed out, and so basically I'm wasting about 70 or 80 watts because I can't use it. They're just not being used for anything. So yeah, I left the laptop charging all night. I left a couple of other things running just to use the power, because I feel like I'm like wasting the sun or something by not taking advantage of the extra power. Now, the real challenge is going to be when I get my PC in here. Where'd the cat go? Oh, there you are. The real challenge is going to be when I get my full-size PC in here and I run it for a couple of hours. Generally, I want to be able to run my main computer with both monitors for 3 or 4 hours a day. And that's one of the reasons why I got this huge battery bank to begin with, and all the solar and stuff, was so that I wouldn't have to run the generator unless it's like a cloudy day or I'm in like under trees or something like that. Then I can just kick the generator on. But I wanted to minimize the use of the generator as much as possible, because it's not like gas is that expensive. It's like $2 a gallon, and the generator takes like a half a gallon an hour. So that's not too bad, because basically I can charge my batteries in like 2 or 3 hours. So it's not like it would be the cost of gas that's that prohibitive. But the fact I don't want this loud, rumbly, noisy generator that stinks. I mean, the thing has no emissions on it. It's a carbureted engine, right? So it has no emissions controls on it. I like to have, if you notice right now, I have the door open, I got windows open, I got the fan on, and I like to do that all the time. I like to have fresh air coming in as much as possible. And when you run that generator, man, it's like a cloud of fucking nasty shit surrounds the van, and I don't want to have to coop myself up in here and lock myself up and breathe this recirculated air for a couple of hours unless I really have to. And that's one of the reasons why remember I showed you in one of my prior videos, I basically weatherized the flap for the oven or the stove, because air was actually coming in through there. When I had the fan on, I could actually feel air coming in like a breeze. And I'm just imagining, if I had the generator on, I have all the windows and doors closed, I have the generator on, but I'm going to suck in exhaust through here. That's why I kind of made that a little more airtight. And I still need to do some things in the van to make the ceiling around the corners better. See, one of the prior owners, they actually I'm going to leave it up there because I might use it myself. They put Velcro all the way around the door, obviously to put some kind of screen or something up. And I wasn't thinking about putting a screen here in the door itself, but I am planning on getting one of those outdoor screen rooms. And in order to make like a sort of a tunnel so the cat can't get out, I may use that Velcro to make sort of like a tunnel, for a better or less word that I can use, so that I can leave the doors open, the cat can come in and out as he wants, and he'll just go into the screen room and I don't have to worry about him. So, well, anyway, there's the update. I think I'm down to 1.5 minutes. Really gotta get a new camera. So there's the update. The solar's been kicking ass. What I'm doing today is basically I'm going to run these extra 12-volt wires that I found, and I'm going to put them up in here in preparation for my new backup camera. Yeah, I decided that since I'm going to have a giant cargo carrier on the back, and I can't really see when I'm backing up in this thing. I got mirrors and I got the window in the back, but still you can't really judge distance that well. And it's going to run as a security camera, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of shit in that cargo carrier. When I have a camera on it, so I can keep an eye on if anybody's messing with it or not. So I have a pretty decent quality night vision backup camera on the way, and I'm going to install that probably this weekend. And I have a bunch of other stuff coming in, basically starting to do the interior stuff, because I'm about 2 weeks away from taking this thing out on its first real weekend camping run. So, yep, look who's still visiting. Someone decided to hang out. Okay, spot cleared, I think. I think this lens is just shot. I think it's been... This is not... I didn't buy this camera new. I got this used. So I'm guessing that there's just some stuff happened with that lens I can't fix. So anyway, here we are. I found a 12-volt line that was cut by one of the previous owners of this van. And so I decided to just... It was sticking out right here. You see this bump? And I decided to just push it up through the corner here, along with the solar cables. That's what these are from one of the solar panels. So this is 12 volts. It's fused. It's on its own fuse. So I'm going to go ahead and use this for when the backup camera comes in. I did not want to install a screen up front specifically just for backing up. I can just use my tablet or my phone, and whenever I need to back up, I can just click one. I'll put a shortcut right to the camera. And then when I'm ready to back up, I'll just hit the icon, and when I'm done backing up, I shut it off. I don't need to have it there all the time, unless I want to drive with it on And, you know, I can do that too. Just plug the tablet or phone in. It's no big deal. Man, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm running out of projects. I still got to do the cat door, which is funny because that was like my first project. I took that door off like the first day I got here. That was like 7 weeks ago. That door is still sitting in there. And the only reason I didn't do it was because the cat door that I got from China was busted, so I got another one. And that one's fine. I just, then I got a different cat box. So I wanted to, before I cut the hole, adjust the height for the new cat box. I got something a little bit smaller to fit into that space easier. And, yeah, beyond that, I have the, you know, the backup camera. I have some, now obviously this is not finished product here. I gotta get I have the other piece of plywood for the bed. I need to bring in and screw down. I'm gonna have to drill some holes and figure out exactly where I want to basically hold down those boards. And then the pieces of wood that cover this area here on both sides, sitting in the garage. The garage isn't open today. But those I'm going to cover with it's sort of a rubber, it's like a rubber mat type thing. Soundproofing, thermal, and it's not carpet, because I was originally going to do carpet, but then I realized I have a cat. The less carpet, the better. So it'll be rubberized on both sides. Then I'm going to, then I also have some stuff coming in for the bottom of this, because that's going to have sensitive electronics, PC, hard drives, and I want that to be padded from any vibrations when I'm driving. So anyway, that's kind of like where I'm at. Oh, I have to replace that. It's too small to hold all the wires in it, so I just have it duct taped for now, which is ugly as hell. But I have a new piece coming in. It's another 25 bucks. It kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. I'm going to replace that with a little bit of a bigger version, same color, gray, because they don't have blue. And that should take care of the wires. And then I think I'm going to cut a piece of plywood to cover these holes once I get all the wiring done, because I'm going to have to, you know, I might have to adjust this section here a little bit. But once I get the plywood up there, gee, that's going to be close to the end of the build. Then I'm going to have to just stop piling the van with stuff, and I got to clean the tanks. I haven't cleaned the tanks, the freshwater tank, since I bought the thing. So I'm going to need to dump what's in there, the soapy water shit that's in there now. And I got some freshwater tank cleaner coming in. It should be here this weekend, and then I can fill and drain the tanks a couple of times, get them all cleaned out so I can actually use the water in here. And got to get the cargo hitch and the bag for the cargo hitch, and I think I might cut a piece of wood to put on top of that just for security reasons. And not a lot. I might put a rack on the back, or make it out of pipes for my zero gravity chairs. But yeah, I'm running out of stuff. Yeah, I would like to replace these curtains with something that's doesn't have pink and purple in it. Kind of bothers me. But you know, that's one of the part of the beautification project. I do have a lot of stuff I want to do to make the van look better inside now. That's the last thing on my list. In fact, I might not even do it before I make my first trip, because really I want to take this thing out for a couple of days, spend a couple of days out in maybe in Prescott Forest or something like that, somewhere nice, or Sedona. Just spend a couple of days out in the middle of nowhere and just, you know, try everything out for a couple of days. See if I need to make any adjustments. And that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. I have my aunt is actually driving from Florida to Arizona to spend some time in Sedona, so I may try to catch her while she's there. I haven't seen her in like 20-something years, so that'd be kind of cool. Beyond that, I'm just tidying up. I'm going to put the walls back together now, so I got the wires right. I got all this outlets and stuff to put back in. I got the screws for that. Actually, I can probably go ahead and put those screws back in, and then put the bathroom back together. Because really, that's it. I'm done running wires in the walls. So, thankfully, it's such a pain in the ass to run wires through the walls. It almost would have been easier to buy a cargo van and just do it from scratch, but any case, that's it for now. Until next time. Hey, thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, share, and like. And we'll see you guys next time. Say hi, Odin.